welcome to the Big Scuba podcast. Welcome to a little big chat edition. So this is about people coming on, talking to us about whatever they want to talk to us about, whether it's their new diver, where maybe they run a dive centre, maybe they've got a new line of wetsuits coming out, or maybe they've just completed a big project on marine science or something like that, and they want us to help spread that message. Doesn't matter, it's free, they get 40 minutes to talk about them or whatever the subject is, and then we spread it. We put it on our YouTube channel, we put it on our Instagram, Facebook, social media, and then also all we ask is that they do the same across all their social media. And the more we share, the more it gets out there, and the more it helps to keep things ticking over. The other thing I would say as well, don't forget to subscribe. There's more of these coming. We do several of these a month, and that's a blackbird that's now joining us. Everybody wants to be on the show. What can we say? There we go. So don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to ring the bell, and that way you'll keep up to date with what's coming on. See you soon. Hello, Gareth.
How are we doing?
Very well, thanks.
Bad. How are you?
Not too bad, thank you. Not too bad.
Yeah. Well, thanks for joining us. So we've got Gareth from Non-Plastic Beach on. So Gareth, who we've got on is yourself and Gemma and me. Okay, and you are our third one today. So welcome.
Wow.
Yeah.
You're well practiced into it now then.
Third time lucky.
Yeah. That's probably more like it. Yeah. Third time. You having a good day?
Not bad, yes, not bad. We have we've got two young children, so days can be quite mixed depending on how they sleep and all that kind of thing.
Yeah, I know what that's like. Mine a little bit older than that now. They're my boy is I think now 13, and my daughter's 10. So
oh wow,
so fast. So,
it's tricky ages for different reasons. We've got a coming up 3-year-old and a 7-month-old, so it's really young.
Busy time.
Yeah.
Well, let's crack on with it then, because this is your time. Okay.
Right.
So Gareth, let me just quickly run through how it all works. Okay.
Okay.
So this is your time to basically talk about you and your products. We've seen your website, great website. We'll get to that. Okay. So it's a little big chat, and we talk about you, whatever you're working on, new projects, anything like that. So just tell us about what you're doing. We'll just do a quick introduction about myself and Gemma. So I'm a paddy dive master. I've been diving for about 5 years, based in Norfolk, and I work also as a volunteer dive master for our local dive club based in Norwich. Okay.
Right.
Dive mostly in the UK. But I've done a little bit of international diving as well, like in Red Sea, for instance. So that's briefly about me. Gemma?
Yep, I'm virtually a non-diver. I'm just going through my open water qualification, so I'm due to finish that off in a couple of weeks. It all got stopped because of lockdown, but all the theory is done.
Quite tricky.
yes. So hopefully be in the water, get qualified, and then be able to do a lot more diving. Yeah, particularly around the UK. So. Yeah, so that's me basically. Yeah, so and obviously we've been doing the podcast since kind of January time. And
okay.
Yeah, so we've been very lucky with the guests we've had on, and yeah, it's been really interesting talking to a wide range of people about all things, diving, water. Yeah.
There is. I mean, there's a wide range of people interested, isn't there? So that helps your guest list to be diverse and keep it interesting, kind of thing.
Yeah, and all about being under the water. It's about things that impact the ocean and. On top of the water as well, and like yourself, it's really important stuff.
And we wanted to use this as a chance for people to come on, because one thing what we know about diving now is that it's networking is really important. It's quite a small network, so to get out of this virus business and lockdown, it's great that we can all work together and shout about some really good companies and some of the really good projects that people are doing. So really the rest of this time is about you, as we said. But what we do ask is that you share on your social media. Once we put this out there, you put this out there as well across your social media, because that helps us build as a podcast and what we're doing.
Yeah, absolutely.
And also it'll help you as well. And this isn't just a one hit and we never see or hear from you again. What we would say to you is that continue to message us if there's stuff that's coming up maybe in 6 months, whatever. Use us as a tool to try and get the message out there to more of our listeners and more followers, because we're building all the time. So in a few months' time, there'll be other people join us that will be new to you as well. So the more you share, the more you use us, it helps. And then maybe come back in a few months' time.
Perfect. Happy to do that. Yeah.
So let's talk. Let's use the rest of this time talking about you and what you do, and tell us about who you are.
Yeah, sure. So my name's Gareth Dean. I'm co-founder of Non-Plastic Beach. So founded with my wife Nicola. We founded the company after a holiday to Mauritius, where we had been diving. As part of the holiday, it wasn't a pure diving holiday, but we've got a Mauritian friend, which is it's a very useful person to know because his family live in Mauritius and we stayed with them. So when you say we started the company in Mauritius, it all sounds very sort of la-di-da kind of thing. But we were staying away from the tourist resorts, very much in the sort of the real Mauritius, and we were just sort of taken aback a little bit by one of the local supermarkets had proper cornstarch biodegradable bags, and they were miles away from the hotels, from the seafront stuff, coming to Mauritius, and we went to a hotel while we were there to sort of to see some friends, and they were sort of doing you have to ask for a straw in order to protect the oceans and that kind of thing. We thought, well, this is great. This is a country which, although it has the sort of, very developed tourism industry and very, sort of glamorous image, it obviously is a developing country to some extent in some areas as well. And, it has its environmental problems, but they are actually making strides that you maybe don't see everywhere. So that's impressive. We thought we'd like to cut down our plastic consumption ourselves because, one of the things we noticed in Mauritius is that the reefs are not in very good condition. They're not very good at reminding tourists when they're going on dive trips or anything. A lot of places they give you a lot of instruction beforehand about please do this and don't do that and everything else, which I'm perfectly happy to hear 1,000 times kind of thing, because I've seen so much bad behaviour over time of people just lumping into reefs and picking things up and all that kind of thing. But they were making this plastic stride, so that was great. We thought, all right, we're going to try and cut down our plastic. So we came home and we started to sort of think about things we could replace, and we found that as we got things that were replacements, some of them were good and some of them weren't, and a lot of stuff turned up in bubble wrap and plastic envelopes and with tape all over it, and some of the quality was rubbish, some of the and we thought, could this be done better? Could we set up a business that specialised in this? So probably after a couple too many glasses of wine, we registered. We sort of decided we were going to do this, and then another night with probably some wine, which is painting a terrible picture of us, but we registered a domain name, and we called ourselves Non-Plastic Beach, and we started to sort of source products and that kind of thing and get things made for us. And what started off as we'll sell some plastic, non-alternatives to plastic, we became a brand and we have things made for us and that kind of thing. And we launched in October 2018, so a relatively new company, but we've grown pretty quickly from there. So it took off fast, and I was originally working. So my background is 15 years in the car industry. I'm originally worked for Honda, then Nissan, then Jaguar Land Rover, specialising in electric vehicles. Well, so I was PR and marketing, PR for many years, and then marketing latterly. And for the last almost 10 years, I've specialised in electric cars. So my background is sustainability from that perspective. And I was marketing side for Jaguar Land Rover, looking at the customer proposition for future plug-in vehicles. So basically, I had to be on the side of the customer in the business to sort of argue with engineers, largely actually, about what future electric product would look like. And then previous to that, I was electric vehicle communications manager for Nissan Europe, which is just about the longest job title in the world. So I my background is not retail or anything like that, but it is sustainability. So it's something we've been able to to bring forward. And Nicola is a chartered accountant, which is a very useful skill to have within a business. But she's also very interested in the environment, but she's also, I think, surprised herself actually with some of the sort of creativity, and quite a lot of product ideas have come from her. It's not just me writing the copy, that kind of thing. So we launched in October 2018. We sell direct to customers via the website, which is where we started with things, and then we started to sell to other businesses. People sort of started to inquire and say, we love your cotton buds or your toothpaste tablets, that kind of thing. Could we sell them? And so we started to sell to more and more businesses. I think our first really big one was the National Marine Aquarium in Plymouth, which we were just delighted by. So we were only a few months old as a business. When we started, we were both working full time. I took voluntary redundancy from Jaguar Land Rover in March last year, which was a big brave step, but fantastic timing from our perspective. It was scary. But it was timed well, and the business was on the up, and it just allowed me to spend all my time on it, kind of thing. So, we've gone from there and built up our trade side of selling to various businesses. We were used by Etihad Airways for the world's first plastic-free flight. So they did a flight from Abu Dhabi to Brisbane for World Earth Day last year. And they took it very, very seriously. So these things, one of the things you very quickly see in an industry like this is a lot of greenwashing. A lot of big brands are cottoning on to the kind of like, people want to cut down plastic, right? What can we do? And doing this is a reduced plastic container or whatever. It's like, yeah, but it's less recyclable than the thing you used to sell. So not sure about that. But yeah, Etihad went through the plane. So it is a long haul flight. It's one of the longest flights there is actually, in terms of single leg Abu Dhabi to Brisbane. And they changed the seals on the trolleys. They put edible coffee cups in. So they literally went. The no bags for headphones, no bags for blankets. And one of the things was our toothpaste tablets. So we sell a toothpaste tablet product, which is contains fluoride. So a lot of alternative to plastic toothpaste don't contain fluoride. And British Dental Association, NHS, very clear that toothpaste should contain fluoride. So they selected us, and it was very much an incredibly last minute thing where they sort of emailed us on a Sunday, because of course that's a business day in the Middle East. It isn't for us, but I just happened to see the email, and it said, can you get your toothpaste tablets to Abu Dhabi in 2 days? Which the answer was not easily, because no courier will pick up on a Sunday, but I'll get them to Heathrow. So that we dropped it with their catering company. I think it literally went on a trolley to Abu Dhabi, and a week later the YouTube video came out. Our orders went nuts, and because literally the third sort of shot of the video is a full frame of our toothpaste tablets, which is just amazing. So that was, for a company at the time, we were less than 6 months old as a business, was fabulous. Just amazing. And we've done other cool things. So Salomon, the outdoor brand, famous for their skiing gear and their sort of running shoes, etc. They used, again, toothpaste tablets in a global competition prize in April. So they were 2 non-Salomon products in the competition box. It was all to their WMN campaign. And they selected us to go in there, which is, again, was a huge honour, because I actually learned to ski on Salomon skis. So it was kind of, it was a real thing of like, wow, this is amazing. Yeah. We literally started on the kitchen table, operating out of a garage, and storage unit. And now I'm sat in our office, which is we actually built ourselves. So we're on a farm in a business unit, but within that business unit we've built an office from recycled materials. So it's a sort of beach hut style. It's actually made out of recycled scaffold plank, which
that's great.
which we didn't ever have a proper design. Was built with some very expert assistants, I have to say. So my cousin's other half is a builder and a chap in our village who's couldn't describe as an enthusiastic amateur who's very, very good at building stuff, but he's originally an airline pilot.
So where are you based?
We're in Oxfordshire, so we're our business unit's in Woodcote, which is South Oxfordshire. So kind of, we're within spitting distance of the road from Reading to Oxford, basically.
Yeah, so you're international. Do you internationally sell your products? Yeah.
We've sold to 92 countries. We've got companies that sell our products in Iceland, Norway, Romania, Portugal. Just crazy places. Abu Dhabi, Canada. So we've gone sort of fairly far and wide. Which
so what's the first thing you brought out? What was the first?
So we did. Well, the first thing we bought for the business was toothbrushes, bamboo toothbrushes. That was a big moment when thousands of toothbrushes arrived at our house.
And where are they made?
So they're made in China, and people kind of say, things being made in China, kind of thing. Well, yes, because bamboo grows in China. It doesn't grow well in Oxfordshire. The variety of bamboo we use grows up to a yard a day because it's growing tropics. It doesn't grow well in rural Oxfordshire, unfortunately. And importing raw bamboo would be mad because you obviously would be importing all the waste. And China's got a couple of thousand years of experience of working with bamboo. Yeah. They were the first thing we imported, but we launched with a few products. So we have bamboo cotton buds, also made in China, toothpaste tablets. We had our soap, handmade palm oil free soap bars, and that was our sort of main launch range. And we brought in,
because palm oil, that's one of the things they talk about with deforestation of the
hugely,
the rainforest, isn't it?
Yeah, Borneo, massive deforestation, largely from palm oil. So we call our one of our soaps Borneo Breeze, and it's got an orangutan icon on the back because orangutans are massively threatened, largely because huge swathes of, and it is like, the percentage of original rainforest is gone is absolutely terrifying. And it's for palm oil, which is used in food and cooking and everything else. And palm oil is a funny thing because people kind of go, oh, it's all evil kind of thing. So it's actually, the reason it's become popular is it's an incredibly efficient plant. It's really, really good at growing very, very large amounts of oil in a very small area. The problem is it's been so used and put everywhere, and it's not regulated at all well in those countries that you've ended up with a massive problem.
And they're cutting down all the trees to grow it.
Exactly. Yeah, that's where the problem occurs. So our soaps, our shampoos, etc., don't have palm oil in them, and they also have the rest of the ingredients are carefully regulated, because that's always the thing of, if you eliminate palm oil, it's like, okay, you're still going to be using an oil. What is it, and where does it come from? And have you created another problem somewhere else? So that's always been something we're keen to avoid. So yeah.
One of the things is clear. Gemma and I were talking about this before you come on, and for eco-friendly and environmental friendly products that you've got, your prices are fairly, they're good prices, aren't they?
It's been one of our aims is, and sometimes people look at a price and think, oh, that's a lot, so shampoo bar is more than you pay for a bottle of shampoo, but it lasts a long time, as long as you keep it dry. There are things like, bars of soap and bars of shampoo that really need to be kept well drained, because if you sit them in a puddle of water, they wear out really quickly. But that's been a real focus for us, is because we, yes, some of our customers are totally eliminating plastic from their life, which is fantastic, but it's really, really hard to do. So we focus on trying to encourage people to sort of change one or two things at a time. And, that people are only going to convert if those products work. So that's an absolutely critical thing, because we found so many alternatives to plastic which were frankly crap. And also if they are affordable. So, they are not going to be as cheap as your sort of, Aldi own brand kind of shower gel. But there's a reason that plastic has proliferated on the earth, and that's because it's very cheap. So, some of the packaging products are more expensive, and the ingredients are more expensive because they're better quality. They are organic and certified, and vegan, and all these kind of things that, if you throw all of those ethics out the window, you can make products very cheaply. It does cost more, but we try really, really hard to keep that down so that we can get.
Pack of toothbrushes. There's how many on there? 4. Children's toothbrush, £14 on your website.
Yeah.
And 4 toothbrushes, 14 quid, and it's made from bamboo. It's good for the environment. It'll break down. What about the actual? The
bristles are a tricky area. So we're launching bristle recycling, because they are made of nylon. It says that on the back of the toothbrush. It's one of the interesting discoveries going into this was other people sell bamboo toothbrushes, of course they do, and there are some really interesting claims made around what they're made from, which are largely nonsense. And the thing is that toothbrushes are a really difficult area because of the bristles are, because they are abraded by your teeth, so they need to be made of a fairly resilient material. If you then want that to compost, you've got to, it's got to get wet twice a day or 3 times a day, be abraded, be covered in a cleaning solution, etc., and not break down while it's in your bathroom. But then it's going to be put break down in short order, kind of thing. So they are. We use nylon because it works. So they are good quality bristle. They last for 3 months. You can get things like boar hair, so pigs, but we read up on it. They're slightly too abrasive for teeth, so you risk wearing away your dentine on your teeth, your enamel.
Vegetarians won't like that, will they?
No.
Well, also, the ethics of where it was sourced from, we couldn't be sure of. So, it's we're not sort of saying you've got to be vegan or anything else, but personally, anything I sort of eat, I like to know the ethics of it and try and make better choices. So, but also they're porous as well, so they trap bacteria and moisture and everything else in them. So. Yeah, so we're going to launch recycling for the bristles. So you literally snap the head off, which you can do because it's bamboo, and you better return the head to us, and we put them through specialist recycling. So you get rid of that.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So there are people that will do it. I mean, plastic is a tricky area in terms of recycling. It's one of the reasons it's such a big problem globally, and that's because most plastics can't really be recycled. They're downcycled. So. Yeah. Even when you put stuff into your plastic recycling bin, which you absolutely should do, it will go somewhere and be turned into a lower quality product, because you often see on the back of a bottle it'll say completely recyclable. Brilliant. Has it got any recycled plastic in it? No, none at all. and that gives you know that it's not actually that easy to turn that bottle into another bottle. There are losses in the process and everything else. So even if they make it from 50% recycled plastic, there's still plastic coming into that time. So yeah, we've got a specialist recycler who will recycle it. It will be turned into something that's not a toothbrush bristle, but toothbrush bristles versus the whole toothbrush versus having a plastic handled brush in a, they usually come in a bubble pack. So the amount of plastic you're creating is massively reduced.
Yeah, and people must get, a great feeling knowing that as well. It's just
and we're also not immune to the fact that you'll have seen from our toothbrush range, and we've got a couple of new colours coming actually, that we've got a load of different colours which we found helps with identification, because you can get uncoloured brushes, but if you've got 4 of the same brush or 5 of the same brush in your bathroom, whose is whose becomes a bit difficult. So we've got a coloured painted section on the handle and the bristles, so that you can make that choice. But it's also just in sort of design wise, people spend unbelievable amounts of money on doing bathrooms. Even doing it, cheaply is thousands. To have something that's sort of more designed and a bit more aesthetic kind of things, I think is another reason people like it. And that's not a bad thing if an environmentally based product, our soaps are very kind of aesthetic. They've got colour, different colours through them, different layers to them. Again, that makes people, them appeal to people, and it becomes a bit of a sort of conversation starter.
Yeah,
so
well, it does. Yeah, and seeing it in a bathroom, you'll think, where did you get that? It's just
Again, make it smell nice as well.
So the whole packaging, everything, so it all comes and it's all totally recyclable.
Yes, so we spent ages testing different paper tapes to find one that would actually last through the post and all that kind of thing. We've actually become sort of, we sell paper tape to other people now, because we found, we've got a really good one that we can sell on to people. And so the box is recycled and recyclable. We fill it with a recycled cardboard shred. So like zigzaggy shred stuff that to pack it out, or recycled paper, and then it's stuck with paper tape. So yeah, we've sort of tried to eliminate plastic all the way through, kind of thing, because you get a load of plastic products and it's all wrapped in plastic tape. It ruins
it's the object, doesn't it?
Yeah.
A lot of the big manufacturers, like diving manufacturers, at the start of this year, were, until the lockdown happened, had a target to get rid of their plastic packaging and sort of bubble wrap, using all those sort of things before the World Oceans Day. And I think they probably didn't hit that, unfortunately, some of them, because of the lockdown and everybody being furloughed, etc. But I know I can think of a few manufacturers who we've spoken to who are doing the same thing. They're all looking at their impact on the environment, what plastics they're using, trying to see what the alternatives are. And you've got, by the looks of it, a good quality wrap in there and box. So well done, I think, on that.
How do you go about advertising? Do you just use the website and social media?
Yeah, social media is huge for us, and advertising via social media. I know people get kind of, I'm being tracked and I'm being looked at and everything else. It's like, to be honest, that allows us to put an advert in front of you who might be interested, rather than someone who's probably completely disinterested. It's not perfect, and I get some weird targeting on social media of things. I'm like, how has this ended up? Because I know the background. How on earth have I ended up on this list? But quite comedically, because I get served things like, would you like some plastic boxes to send your stuff to your customers in, and things like that. I've had that through Facebook, which is probably the worst targeting they could come up with. But yes, social. We've had some nice newspaper articles written about us. Big early success for us was actually there is a online or YouTube based channel called Fully Charged.
Right.
It's about electric cars, and it's run by Robert Llewellyn, who was Crichton in Red Dwarf and also presented Scrap Heap Challenge. I've known Robert for many years because I've done some press trips with him and that kind of thing through electric car things, and I sent him a package of our stuff when we started, and he put it in the news section of Fully Charged, and that just went completely bananas. And that's when we started to get loads of international orders as well. We just couldn't believe it. When we had people in Australia ordering our stuff, and so yeah, that was a really great early boost. And we also did Fully Charged live actually. So we've done a couple of in-person events where we've sold direct to the public, which has been fascinating, because normally it's a person behind an email address. Some people join our Facebook page and say love your staff, or send us a message and things, which is lovely. When you get that kind of spontaneous feedback, it's amazing. But to actually be in front of people and then looking at stuff and going, oh, I love that, or I'm not sure about that. You kind of, you get some good feedback to think about. Well, we could do that actually. Yeah, no, that's annoying. We can't change it. So yeah, we've done a couple of those sort of things, and that was a really.
Did you get involved in Formula E or something?
We've done a podcast with Formula E, so there's sort of not that long ago actually with Mahindra, so they're one of the founding teams of Formula E, we appeared on their podcast, and that was actually a World Earth Day thing
good.
that they were doing. So yeah, that was we'd love to do some more stuff with them in the future as well. But yeah, so it's been an interesting journey, and we as I didn't say too much about the diving side of things for Nicola and I, but that was what really originated the business for us, was that we're not by any means mega experienced divers, but we did our PADI Advanced Open Water on honeymoon. Nicola had done her PADI Open Water many years ago, and I did my open water just before we went, basically, because my good friend Graham Buckingham, who runs Bite Back, the marine Shark Marine Conservation Charity, he is qualified dive master, etc. And he said, don't do open water in a fancy place, because it's a lot of classroom time and everything else. So it's really good to do it in relatively basic conditions, because you're going to spend a lot of time inside, and that's really frustrating if you're somewhere lovely. I was like, okay, and great advice from him there. And then we went, and we were on honeymoon in the Maldives, which is just incredible for diving or just snorkeling. You just, the house reef at the hotel was just mind blowing. And they actually, I have to say, Maldives gets quite a lot of things wrong in terms of plastic, etc. They have this huge rubbish burning island near the capital and ask you to take your plastic home with you, which, having seen the island as we flew over, absolutely did take all our plastic home, and don't want that ending up there. But in terms of actually preserving the sort of the reefs and stuff, they're pretty good in terms of not allowing people to drop anchors and all that kind of stuff. So we did our advanced open water there, and then we've also done some diving in Costa Rica, which is a shining beacon of really good looking after the environment policies and sustainability, etc. They are
that's good.
Places. The protection for dive sites. They were, there was a guy sat on the island we were near, with binoculars, looking at the various dive boats, making sure there weren't too many people on a particular dive site and that kind of thing. And if you exceeded your time, the operator got a fine, that kind of thing. And we had to move away from a site and wait until another group had finished, because if we'd gone on, and you could see it in the reef that it was in much better. They limit the number of people into national parks. They've got huge percentage of renewable energy. They've pledged that, despite having enormous reserves of copper, they're not going to exploit them, because that will require, ruining jungle, etc. And they went down really, really low on their percentage of original rainforest, but they've actually gone up significantly. So they've had an active program of reforestation. It's not just like a few trees here. It's kind of, percentages increase of trees. Wow. So that was an amazing place to go as well. And we dived in Malta as well, which is
really good diving,
amazing.
Really good diving as well.
It was that was after we started the business, actually, and we hadn't mentioned it to our dive master, and he was picking up a load of snagged fishing line, and we were like, it's good to see. So we were on a wreck, and he just
you support ghost fishing as well, don't you?
Yes, Ghost Fishing UK we've done quite a bit with. We work with them, and they actually sell our products via some of their stalls at events and that kind of thing. And we love what they do, because it's such direct, effective action. For ghost nets are the most dangerous form of marine litter possible. And removing them in British waters is not an easy task. It's they do train divers, but I've looked at the requirements and realised I need to up my game for some time before I would be considered worthy of it, because it's obviously, it is a very challenging environment. They dive with a lot of equipment to remove, but they remove tons of nets, and I like their approach as well, because they're not antagonistic towards fishermen. They're not trying to villainize fishermen. They are trying to work with the fishing community, that when fishermen have lost nets and pots and stuff like that, tell them about it, and they'll go and try and retrieve it. So, and working with fishermen, on diving off like the fishing boats as well. So they're a great team there, and they've done amazingly well in a relatively short time, and I think they're going to grow and grow, hopefully, to have more teams around the UK to deal with that problem, because it is definitely the worst form of marine litter you can come up.
So have you got any new products coming out?
Yeah, I mean, we're always looking for new things, and we've got some new shampoos and conditioners. They've been a hugely popular thing for us. So we do shampoo bars and conditioner bars. A lot of people have tried shampoo and conditioner bars, really not got on with them. We get a lot of female customers who said, "Oh my God, no, not shampoo bars. My hair was a disaster, not doing it." And blokes as well, but it's bad hair days more of an impact on women or men with long hair. I'd say. So
I think, we'll be placing an order and have to look.
We spent ages finding one that Nicola's got, long blonde, slightly chemically helped coloured hair, and she tried all of these different shampoo bars that we looked at and everything else, and then we got this formulation which is brilliant. There's no transition period, there's no heaviness, there's no mad hair or anything like that. It's just a shampoo bar and a conditioner bar that works, and they're popular with people who want to save plastic because there's no bottle, but also they're popular with people who travel because you don't have. So we've got a lot of air crew as customers, because they don't have to take things in and out of their hand luggage, because they have to go through security too. So we've got some new scents of that. We've got some new soap dishes coming as well. We've got another couple of things that are in the pipeline. We're not, whether they will happen or not. But yeah, I mean, and we've not long launched our new recycled wood soap dishes. So one's made out of teak, which has come out of an old school, which we got via Oxford Wood Recycling. And then we have an Iroko, which is a very hard African hardwood soap dish, which is made out of my dad's old biology lab bench tops. So,
oh God, cool.
It's great provenance, because I definitely know where they came from. But his lab was demolished quite a long time ago. It was a temporary classroom, and literally all of the.
So for people who literally going to hear of you for the first time, where have they got to go if they want to buy any of your products? www.nonplasticbeach.com is us, and we are also on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram as well. So just search for Non-Plastic Beach, or one word, and you'll find us. And that's a good way to hear about new products as well, because we always tend to talk about it there.
Yeah, and it's a very easy to use website as well, which is, half the battle sometimes with people ordering online. It's just
and we always try to look at order. Sorry, no, you can order as much as you want. If you spend over £50, then the delivery is free. We don't do free delivery. People get used to that from sort of some sites, but that means that the cost of delivery is built into all the products. We keep product prices low. So we'd like people to buy in larger quantities less frequently, so that they're not getting lots and lots of deliveries, which obviously drives up the environmental impact as well.
Yeah, no, that's great. So we'll definitely where's Ian gone? He's gone. We've got a minute and a bit left, but yeah, we'll obviously share once this comes out on YouTube. Then we'll share quite heavily over social media, and then if you can do the same back for the podcast, and then hopefully we'll benefit both ways.
But we will definitely do that. I mean, great content for us, and we definitely want to share that, so happy to do that.
And come back to us when you've got some more products as well.
I will definitely do that too.
No, it's been really interesting, and I think it's for the listeners, it's another side of things that they can get involved in. Just put an order in and away you go.
Excellent.
That should be.
Okay, well, thank you very much.
Yeah, it's lovely to meet you. Yeah, thank you very much.
Yeah, Catch up with you soon.
Yeah.
Thanks
Thanks,
a lot.
Gareth. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.